Hi guys, it's me again and I'm bothering you with another video. I just enjoy making videos these days and I'm honored to be in front of you and that you can listen to me, and if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to ask me about anything particular to my expertise of schizophrenia or self-forgiveness or just life stuff. Um, I want to talk about something that a very simple thing that keep us away from solution basically, and that is the issue of polarity and divide and conquer. Okay, because almost all things of this world, as it has been, as our collective brainwashing, because we have all been brainwashed through and through, from our families, from our parents, from school, from TV, from everything. We've been brainwashed through and through. So, and breaking through this all these layers of brainwashing is not done overnight. It is not just some fast jet transaction that we have to do to achieve. Um, it takes time. It takes time and it takes effort because these layers of programming are deep and they can be tough. But it's the only way if we're going to get anywhere in this world, and to change. Because we all want a change in our world, We all want change. In fact, we're dying for real change in our world, in our living. And one of the things that is keeping us in limitation in our mind systems is polarity, where we opinionate and think that capitalism is better than socialism, or vice versa. Socialism is better than capitalism. And then we fight against capitalism because we are socialists, or we are capitalists and we fight against socialists, divided in polarity of plus and minus, good, bad, right, wrong, north, south, he, she, God, atheism, love, fear, Muslim, Christian. There are literally endless of potential polarities, and they are keeping us all in an inferior position, locked and stuck in our mind, in our consciousness, in our unconsciousness, in our subconscious, and so on. That is limiting us, that is keeping us from realizing ourselves as the physical, true life potential that we are. Okay? Because this body that we are allowed to carry, that they carry us through this life, this body that we've been given, has been under the command of this mind system, of these polarities. And just like we in the outside world are extracting goods from Amazonas, from Africa, from Asia, from Russia, from Norway, from US, from Canada, we are extracting resources, oil, coal, gold, diamonds, animals, plants, birds, everything. We're just taking it, okay? And we're producing it and harvesting it in such a speed and such a manner that is beyond insane. It is beyond insane how human beings are exploiting nature. And this is very obvious. We all know this. We all know this. But yet we hide away thinking it's soon Christmas. I hope COVID-19 goes away. Then we have another polarity. COVID, or COVID fear, or no fear of COVID and just don't care about COVID. Polarity, where we are trained to fight against the other part in division. Polarity again. So, we all want a good life. We all want change, real change. Because a opinion, a polarized matter, a polarized starting point will not last as change. A revolution of emotions and turmoil and chaos and anger and blame and judgment as a society or a country goes into rage and emotions to have change, that change will not last, because that change is based on emotions, which is again a system of mind, polarity, energies, consciousness, all the stuff that keeps us in an inferior position, where the body, the nature, the life, the garden, life, the physical body, the physical, honest, pure body is kept a slave from the metaphysical, imaginary mind. You know? So, to step out of polarity is to step out of the mind. Okay? To let go of polarity, to forgive all the addiction to either one of the poles, to forgive all the fighting, and realize that we have been divided into divide and conquer, to fight against the fascists, or fight against the socialists, or fight against the pro-abortion or against abortion, fight against, because they're different. They have an opinion that is different. And we fight, we're up on Facebook and in the news and the media, and the media makes this big, oh, now she says that, something fear-mongering, and just playing on emotional fear and energies in the mind to make the biggest, now there's so many with COVID in India or in Sweden, or wow, look at these numbers, just look at these numbers, What is that? Is that what we want to see, to represent us, to be the message that we carry? That is not honesty, that is not nice. That is just mind systems, So, in order to step out of mind systems, we need to let go of the addiction to polarities. And those addictions can go deep into our memories, our trauma, our childhood experience in general, and so on. I've used the process of self-forgiveness now for some time. And I have established a very solid fundament with myself in my walking. A very solid fundament with my physicality that I've discovered through empowering myself, through understanding myself, through forgiving myself. Not some mystical God or Buddha person or Shiva or whatever, but me, Tormod, forgiving me. And that way I let go of the polarities and the imaginary thinking, the feelings and emotions, personalities, consciousness, ego, all that commotion. I let that go, and I ground myself in my body, in my physical body, which is the living flesh. So this is just to point out how we want to have quick fixes. We want to have quick fixes, but in this life, in this zeitgeist, in the big thing, a big conundrum of things, there are no quick fixes. Okay, we have to walk a process with this, and the generations to come deserve a better reality than we have been given. We can't just accept the same brainwashing of school, of religion, of consumerism, of all the systems that we've had since whenever, to be implemented like whatever into our children. We have to do better. And in order for us all to do better, we need to let go of the polarities, the opinions that we have about this or that are energetic, that are loaded with reactions and fighting, okay? And find that sanity, that self within, that is the nature of self, the tree within, you might say, the world tree, that is here, that is a body, that is life, that wants to work, that wants to discover, that wants to empower, that wants to understand, that wants to forgive the self. So this is again to notify you to be aware when you go into polarity, when you go into a feeling high, good vibes, yeah, wow, whatever, Coca-Cola, whatever, high vibes of the mind, and the negative vibes that are, also there, because polarity also has an opposite. It's basic electric math or basic math. A plus always has a minus. They always balance each other, like yin yang or something like that, So to let go of that concept and find self rooted, grounded within the body, the garden within, the sanctuary within, that is where we can, if I stand as a garden within, as a sanctuary within, and you stand as a self-mastery garden within, as you stand as solution and life, then we stand 1 + 1, and then another one, who can stand for life and be responsible, be self-honest, and be real, and not some energy fling, because that is not real, but that is what has been governing our life since whenever, okay? So this is a heads up about polarity, and be aware and pull up your flag when you see to go into polarity, because polarities are systems of mind to keep us all in an inferior position. What we need is to find solutions that work for all. What we need is to find that self-center, that self-mastery, self-forgiveness, self-honesty, enabled to create a better world. People are dying by the minute, of whatever illness or whatever lack of money and all that jazz, everything in between. We need to bring new systems. And money system is the one key element that we need to change, the money system. Very, very important that we need to change that. That's the most important part. To even it out until it's just even, until everybody has sufficient of money. Everybody has plentiful of money. And still we have equal of money given, and so often through equal money system. I repeat, everybody has plentiful of money, and everybody has equal amount of money. Such a system would be utopia. Yes, it would. And it would mean that we would have to give up those polarities, those beliefs, that hate, those projections, all that stuff in our minds, because all that stuff is causing sickness and pain and divide and conquer, left versus right, socialism versus communism, or socialism versus capitalism, all those things that keep us in a polarized state, moving nowhere. Keep us in a polarized state with fighting, projecting, floating around, drunk in our own energy, floating around there in the mind and not getting anywhere, because we are living in a polarity. The reason I'm sharing this and saying this is because I've lived that. I've been through all that. And I think it's time that we share more open the fact that the reason why humans have been exploiting Earth and taking out all the gold, the diamond, the oil, the wood, the animals, the birds, the nature, taking out all that life and just grabbing it and making money out of it, is because the mind has been exploiting our body, our muscles, through producing thoughts, feelings, and emotions to serve the conscious wall in the mind. The reason why we have grown into allowing the exploiting and horrible abuse of life on Earth is because us individually, human beings, have grown to learn and live that the mind needs to extract physical matter, separation of physical muscle from a body, from a physical, to use these resources from the body into feelings, emotions, and thoughts as the conscious simulator occupies our attention and entertain us into just bullshit and nothingness, into more polarities, opinions, and beliefs that keep us inferior. And this extracting of resources from the body is what is causing us to age. And it's why junkies stay junkies, because they need the heroin, they need the hashish, they need the alcohol, they need the whatever, they need the God, they need the something, they need they're addictive to stop the thinking, to limit the thinking, That is why addicts, shopping addicts, porn addicts, whatever addicts, use their substance to limit the thinking process, to remind themselves of what's going on, and then from living this trauma over and over again, they need their drug to stop thinking, to get a break from thinking. Thinking is what is aging. Thinking as it has been is what is aging humanity. And we know that when we think too much, we get a headache, we feel angry, and we get depressed. And so the wheel goes round and round and round and round and round and round and round. Into endless loops, and we get nowhere. So this is me sharing some of my finding of mind systems and the human being. Let's be aware of our polarities. Let's forgive our addictions to polarities and find ourselves stable, rooted, grounded in the body. That is where we will find the real change for humanity, for all of us, from rooting, stabilizing, finding peace, finding calm, finding here-ness in the physical, as a totality, holistic being. That all of me can be there and be at rest and be calm and be centered and be solution, be life, oneness and equality.